spoilers. This is spoilers for sure. Hello everyone and welcome back for another Monday video. It's Elizabeth. This is just gonna be a little sit down, chatty, talk video today. I wanted to address the elephant in the room, and that is How I Met Your Father. If you guys don't know, I care a little bit about How I Met Your Mother.
That's not fair. I don't like any of this anymore.
And so I just want to talk about How I Met Your Father today because I like How I Met Your Father. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and I like it. I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on the first 3 episodes. Still have a lot to go. It can still disappoint me. From where we are after these first 3 episodes, I'm kind of ready. I'm kind of in it. It got me. And I'm gonna be back on this roller coaster of a journey, just like How I Met Your Mother. And I swear, if they do me the way they did How I Met Your Mother's finale, I'll lose my mind. And also, I really think that this could go on for a few seasons. I feel like this could be good for Hulu. I mean, Hulu's doing fine, I'm sure, but I really think this could really bump up the energy for Hulu, you know? When I watched the first 2 episodes were released at the same time. First thought was the theme song, and the fact that they didn't change the theme song, they changed the tone of the theme song. I was like, keep the theme song or make a new theme song. I was already thrown off. The way the first episode ends, where they say one of the 4 people that she met that evening is gonna be the father. That's my biggest critique. It is already not perfect to me. After watching the first 2 episodes, I was like, no, I'm gonna keep watching just out of curiosity's sake. Also because all of the EPs, all the writers, Pamela Fryman, who was the director for most of How I Met Your Mother, is an executive producer. So I was like, I trust these people. They know what they're doing. The fact that they narrowed down the fathers in the first episode, I was so thrown off. That's the whole point. They don't show the son. So we don't know. It could be anyone. We don't know from the 4 guys who it could be. But I was like, what the hell? Like, that's the whole point. The whole point of the show is for us to go on this whole long journey and then at the end find out who the father is. Not the fact that you narrowed it down to the 4 people that she met in the pilot. Now, all of this ranting doesn't even matter because at the end of the 3rd episode, they do. And I said this, I just want to say that I said this to my friends, that after watching those episodes and when I was ranting about them, I said, you know what? When she said, that's the night I met your father, it could be someone walking down the street. It could be someone that was sitting next to her on the subway. That was my prediction of like, oh, they could be cheeky about it and it's not actually one of the main 4 guys. Fast forward to the end of episode 3 when you actually find out that she's gonna go on a date with Josh Peck, which honestly, kind of like about this show. Hilary Duff and Josh Peck on my screen together. It's so insane to me. They're like talking about Tinder and dating and I'm like, what is going on? That they met on that night. And so it's like, ooh, another guy's brought into the mix. But it's also like, okay, so now every guy that she dates throughout this series needs to have been someone that she met that night. So it's sort of like those guys that she dates that she didn't meet that night, they don't really matter. So you either have to make them all be someone that she met that day, or she's just gonna date that guy and we know that they're not gonna work out. That's sort of like my biggest critique, and also seeing that they're kind of playing around with it, being a little cheeky with it. In terms of the main cast, I said to my cousin, he didn't know How I Met Your Father existed, I said, I realized I could potentially enjoy watching this group of people, which I could. Going back to the first and second, it's very cheesy. It feels as though they took the pilot from How I Met Your Mother and just modernized it, but it's still the same kind of tone. That's good. Like, they want it to be the same tone. The jokes felt so CBS still and not Hulu. It's not like a streaming service. I was like, what are they gonna do there? What's gonna be raunchy? Episode 3 makes it a little bit more raunchy, but I was wondering, I was like, what is gonna make it different from being on CBS versus Hulu, How I Met Your Mother versus How I Met Your Father? Something that I also really like, that I'm sure How I Met Your Mother fans loved, is that they're using the same apartment, because Sid's apartment is Ted, Marshall, and Lily's apartment. So that's a really fun nod to How I Met Your Mother. I am starting to see the tone make sense and it feels very nostalgic to me. They're tugging on my heartstrings a little bit to remember like, oh, How I Met Your Mother, like the whole journey was so fun. I got to become so close to these characters, you know, they felt like real friends of mine, and I can see the potential of this group of friends and the different connections within the group. They did really well on the casting, and I really think that that's obviously super important to a successful show. The actor who plays Sid is personally my favorite, Suraj Sharma. I love watching him. He belongs in a sitcom. I have a lot of questions for his character, and I'm interested to see if his engagement works out, if it doesn't work out, what he's gonna end up doing. I like how there's a few more characters involved. I really like Josh Peck in the 3rd episode. I'm like really excited for him. He gives me Victoria vibes from How I Met Your Mother. The last thing I want to say is that in the 3rd episode, I really felt the story arc relate a lot to How I Met Your Mother. Something that I love so much about How I Met Your Mother is all the life lessons that I've taken from the show. And also, I don't think they're trying to replicate How I Met Your Mother in any way. Really embracing the change and really not trying to replicate anything, but still embracing the things that made How I Met Your Mother so good. Again, I was the biggest skeptic coming into this. I was like,
no, leave it be.
I was skeptical after watching episodes 1 and 2, and they got me. If I were to guess who the father is from the people that we've met so far, I kind of would love it to be Sid. I just like, he is my favorite character so far. That's my prediction, but we're gonna meet so many people, I'm sure. Those are my freaking thoughts. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what other shows you're interested in me talking about. If you've watched How I Met Your Father, what your thoughts are. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I post videos every single Monday, and on Fridays I post my tier list videos, so subscribe so you can see those, and I will see you next Monday. Boom, boom, bye!